allow making a good name. Mzee Terence amedo komepeni, he has made a good name. Many man cannot yeni Captain Terence, everybody knows him. Lungatin wanobino mepoye, piginodu chabe chabenotemo. Piginodu chabenotemo pilogo Uganda. Piginodu chabenotemo pipashu, pigwakitino, pigwakuye, gwakodaho, jolowele pashu, omidampoye, for making a good name. Mzee Terence ukidekara meri yopore tutwa. Akamoni amedunga to, you must have been happy. Ni tichodu chamimiri timi logo ni timi tiyeho. If you were keen enough, amewinyu kwanga merio bala paola chill bang Timothy bala merio dulera ngwen chaki ya bichel bala kobene agwo ye alwenyo lwen arinyo wech ginadungo pore chanya mero bin pira obedo poch ngata me otute me koyo ko pore ngata mo otute me kemo ginamo ba amiro ena yero ko boko de ginman. And I'm sure Mzee Terence must have said this in his heart. I have struggled. I have fought a good fight. I have kept the faith. I have run the race. Now what remains is my reward. In politic war, and politic war, one who's politic war. Mzee Terence, he maximizes his opportunity to make a name. And I'm also asking you, politic war, please maximize every opportunity that comes around. Because there are moments in life, you will never get them again. There are moments in life when it comes and goes, it will never come back. You know, in life, there are two things that we can use in reference to time. One is what we are calling the chronos. Chronos, or chronology, is how time progresses. Time progresses from seconds to minutes to hours to days to months to years. That is what we call chronos. But within the chronos, there are very defining moments that it should not pass you by. And these defining moments are what we are calling kairos. Kairos are the opportune time within the chronos that you must never allow it to pass you by once you meet it. Because it will not repeat itself. Mzee Terence, when he was still alive, every single opportunity, he would maximize it. And as a result of that, he made himself a good name. I wonder what we are going to leave behind. There are people who come and go or come and die, but after 2 months, people don't remember them anymore. Because you did not make a good name. You did not make any changes to somebody's life, and so people forget about you. But when you have made a good name, even when you are not there, even 10 years after, even 20 years after, like Terence, people still remember you. So today, as we remember and thank God for his life and for his contribution, for whatever he has left behind. The great point and challenge for all of us is to always maximize every opportunity. When you allow time to pass you by, I want to repeat, some of these moments don't come back again. Therefore, the issue of time is very important. I usually like to talk about time because I know what it means. From morning to evening, the chronos, there could be 2 or 1 kairos or a defining moment that you are supposed to make good use of it. But sometimes we are careless and we let this opportunity pass us by. The other day I was giving an example that when a lady is still young and it is not yet time for them to get their counterparts. And can you have put it in a wobi tetemo ngolonya yote anyaha kechu ayete mean when you pay stupid bogus nonsense do that your work simply because it is not yet time. But when time comes, even if you don't call her, she will stop and ask you, hey, did you call me? Even when you have not called, but she will stop and, hey, did you call me? But you have not called, simply because time has come, and some of this time must not pass you by. And so, my friends, please maximize every opportunity that comes along your way, because some of this opportunity don't come again. I don't know what we are doing. I don't know where we stay. I don't know. But in whatever you do and where you are, there are opportunities that come your way. And if you use these opportunities so well, you can change many lives. Not only many lives, even yours can change for the good. Let us not be careless with the life that God has given us, with the opportunity that God has given us to be alive. Terence has finished his race. The journey of faith, he has finished it. And like I said before, he maximized his opportunity. And part of maximizing his opportunity is making himself a good name. I was moving around a village, the other side of the road, of the main road. Then I saw a house, they have written on it, Nyingaber Karoloyo, Nenaber Itelobo. That good name, a good name is better than any wealth in this world. Because even if you are no longer here, because of the good name you have made, somebody will feast on your name. You will agree with me that because of a good name, there are so many people who are working where they are working, even if they don't merit it, but because somebody made a good name, so you are there actually doing it. I mean, even if you don't qualify, it's just enough for you to go and say, oh, I bet what Okello Loro. And then those who know Okello Loro, that he has lived so well, he has made a name, everybody would want to give you a job because Okello Loro lived so well. On the other side of the coin, there are families, there are people who are working day and night looking for what to do. They can't get it because somebody who lived ahead of them. You just need to go and mention his name. Even if you have all the papers, you have all the qualification, you have everything it takes, you just mention that name, and then you see how people will send you away. Anyway, the most humble way to say is, okay, thank you for bringing your application now. You go, we shall call you. And then you keep waiting, you keep checking your phone. Sometimes you ask, is my phone spoiled or what? I'm not getting any call. That is not the issue. The issue is somebody who lived ahead of you did not make himself a good name. And so you also become a partaker in that kind of life because somebody did not make a good name. I want to thank Terence. I'm going to pour your Terence. He made himself a good name and he is being respected everywhere. Use your opportunities well to make a name. Tomorrow when you are not here, somebody will rejoice because you made a good name. Tomorrow when you are not here, your grandchildren or even your own children will get jobs anywhere and everywhere because you made a good name for them. Nyingaber Karolonyo, Nenaber Itelobo. But now spiritually, how do we maximize our opportunity? The one that me want to know, Balo, a book met to Quena, do let it be a Pia lo kitame Paul achiel o converting. Paul got converted. You will remember that he was called Saul in the beginning. And being called Saul, he was telling us a lot about himself in the first reading. Ukobeni anabeda Yuda, adon di boma man, adaka bera karo, akwano, abedi tiena punya duong, ameja duongone Gamaliel. You know, Gamaliel was a teacher par excellence. Kali bedi tiene, when he instructs you, ngechi ngatorope ngwete metu ngechi da. So Paul tako bukita meni beru ngatarieka pela. The doki beda Yuda. And he beda Yuda, he persecuted the church. But remember, Paul was a good Jew. Atekobo in quotes, he was good because Yuda nyangene obantie chelaken ngatorke miro pengwete mekobni and doki beda ba. Don't pity and kopman. Ngatoduta mo ye nyi Yesu Kristo. Paulo benuoni obero tichere memma kote tuweyogi ekaute onekogi. But on this particular day, ame Paul tike de bali chie amogamo iboto dosa chero. Mewo tuweyo ngatoro dusu ame kobeni iye nyi Yesu Kristo. Makogi terogi in chains to be persecuted. Ame tiyo wori yotutu nchawa bichelo kobeni tuanachara mara duongu nendi polo. Techara waya me pedungi ramonen. And he was thrown down. And as he was being thrown down, he will do one, Ameta Kobeni, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? And then I can say, Yininga. Now the voice said, I am Jesus Christ whom you are persecuting. From this point, Paul got a change in his life. Initially, he didn't believe in Jesus. Initially, he thought it was his right to persecute and kill everybody who believes in Jesus. So he gained a lot of knowledge. He gained a lot of wisdom. He gained a lot from his teacher Gamaliel. But all his knowledge was thrown down in less than 1 minute. Nichera metikede, riomera metikede, in 1 minute. Allow me also to tell you, no matter the kind of knowledge, no matter the kind of work, no matter whatever you have, Germany can turn into nothing in less than 1 minute. Real Paul was scattered in less than 1 minute because Dana me weda Yuda akwano itiena punya matongone Gamaliel. He wants us to know that he's very intelligent. That is true. But just a light from heaven in 2 minutes, Paul does not remember ni kwano. Only the thing he can remember is Jesus Christ that he can work for. I want to believe me, Muse Terence. He leaves behind also. Miri ke de marapio ba i passionate. That means Peokwa in isolation, away from God, but he lived together with God. That is why Wandusudoko Birokan Mepoye in the name of God. We want to continue praying. Neobamo Luo Terence Karkele Jodu Chipa Suman Miro Migi Wapero. One may Vanjila me one wino. The gospel reading talks about a servant or a master who calls to himself 3 servants and gives them his treasure, and for him he goes away. Now it is upon the servants now to maximize the opportunity to put this treasure in use. And like we had it, Joke no tikere opportunity yo pore, ngatamomi yo chilling tutumia big unyawario, ngatamomi yo chilling tutumia rio unyawario, ngatamomi yo chilling tutumia chel ukana ping te unyao ginoro. But when it was now time for the master to come and go through their accounts, he began to reward those who maximize their opportunity, those who maximize their time. Danoma chelo komuni road, imia killing tutumia beach. Anyao tuta beach we. Rodo ko bene yina ticha be. Igwo gina titidi abinu mi yitwere kum gina duong. Eta pia tekere ko bene donyi cham kera rote. Why? Because this servant maximized his opportunity well. And for that matter, he earned himself a reception at the right hand of the master. So when time comes for the master to go through his accounts, you realize that this man has made another 100% profit. And he says, you also enter into the peace of my master. Why? Because he maximized his opportunity well. Dana mogamo tutumie kiel. Uworokonyo li marwa therapy. Ichame ruota mito. There was nothing. Tia kubukani ruot. Ananyo ni jindana ger. Ikao kina mepe cho. Ichoko gina mepe kero. Abere kedi luoro. Akano limi pinyi telogo. Gami ene. What did the master say? Good and useless servant. So you knew that I reap where I have not sown. I gather where I have not scattered. You would have given my money to the bank so that on my way back, I would get it with some profit. Now for that matter, take it away from him, give it to the one who has more. Even what he has will be taken away. As for this useless servant, take him, bind him, hand and feet, throw him into the dark, where there will be weeping and grinding of teeth. Why ko kedangela peotiu kedo opportunity mere your pore to make a good name. Today we have come here. Terence is giving us a lesson. He has made himself a good name, and the name lives on. You have your children, you have your grandchildren. Please make a good name out of that. Maximize your opportunity. Spiritually, when you maximize your opportunity, like Paul got changed from Saul to Paul, so that in the end, when your time comes to go, as we come to remember Terence and everybody in this home who has passed away, we must be reminded that we shall also go. But when that time comes for us to go, God must reward me, God must reward you. You have been a good and faithful servant. Enter into the peace of your master. We shall enter and enjoy the peace of the master when we maximize our time here on earth. But when we are careless, that every opportunity passes us by, even just opportunity to serve your neighbor passes you by, even an opportunity to go and visit a sick person passes you by, you will be like this last servant, a useless servant. Take this money away from him, tie him hand and feet, throw him into the dark, where there will be weeping and grinding of teeth. In tomorrow, no jotia puonyi komen ko de kwane. Ija mo ko biri bole pinga chol kana me ko kedanga nyala tie ye matter to be a party. Kado ko kedanga nyala tikun wana dong la wa pe wana dong ngene mo kado wor kuno. Yes. It is not about lahametie, but it's telling you the condition in that place. There will be pain throughout. Dear friends, let us maximize the opportunity. But above all, make yourself a good name. So that even if you are not here, even if tomorrow you go, even if tomorrow I go, my good name remains. Eka yomoro tebedo feasting here. You will agree with me, Nico de Johnny and Otie. But let me remind you for the last time. Kita me Terence woro kede, kita me joke dis me Pascano woro kede, and kede yin, we shall all go. It is about time. Dokan warrior, it's just time. That time came for Terence to go. That time came for some other people to go. That time will come for me to go. Maybe you will remain. But even if you remain, you will follow me. Or if you go ahead of me, I will follow you. It is about time. Only time will live to tell. So, as we thank God for the gift of Terence and for whatever he has done, the knowledge of Notimi Pashuma make that mede Karachian Kedelago. Nioba mede imigi well, ikabere mekuch. Jo medang odongi Pashuma, oba mede gwakoge, oba mede ya begenyim, oba mede chunke gi karmoro disu karmechan kedi karmekuch, we chungidang bedate. Akuno koro nino nasa ame abino pian piyin pi one disu one at a time. Upua una Yesu Kristo.
Bangun mewah di mati kecil, konon dia bermotoban, buat 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 seni. Kita beruna million bisa motor macam buat, when in a way more. Kita beruna million bisa motor macam buat, when in a way more. Kita beruna million bisa motor macam buat, when in a way more. Siang-siang, one of the videos in the video dan sebuah video berpadu, video kita kawan video, video mulai lagi, video mulai mana lagi, video kita turun. Meluang kita meluang, motor macam mereka turaman dengan Okello beda shop itu. Menyusul Semarawa ke depo memang fokus. Wan ini depo itu guna lagi kuat-kuat banget ini. Kalau karantina, semua di bawah, untuk diurus di bagian ini.
He taught us so many things as a great dad. He was a great guide. I would say I've learned so many things from him, and from that he's made me who I am. I think I've almost copied every single thing that he does is what I do. If I look at his life and then look at what I do now, I would say it was a great journey. He did well for me, and I'm very grateful. And I do believe that the rest of my siblings are also doing the same. I can see the energy they're putting in to ensure that we're together, and we are trying our best to ensure that we try to strive, stand, and keep the name of Terence Okello. I think I have so many memories of him. From the time I was a child, I think I was one of the children he loved so much. Every time he traveled, he would bring me something from a bicycle. I think the first bicycle I got it from him. He brought me a bicycle from West Germany. One of those bikes that I rode for a very long time. I rode it for almost 15 years until it finally gave way. And then when I was going for S1, thanks to a hard then, I was supposed to make it to Nambiago College, but then later when they said no, you don't have the finances to go there, it took me to Komboni College, school just nearby here. But it was also great for me to come near home. Yeah. I remember we rode on a bicycle. He carried me on the bicycle and he was riding the bike at his age. Because I was still a young man, I was only 13 years. So we go to the school, met the headmaster. We had a chat with the headmaster, brought me back. There are quite a number of hills going to Komboni College, around 3 hills. So there are hills where I would help him push the bike as we chat, as we walk. So those are some great memories I had of him. And during his older days when he was getting weaker, when he hit about 76 years, growing older because of his sickness, he basically suffered from prostate cancer. That's what took his life. We will travel a lot to Kampala together. I'll come pick him up here, take him for treatment in Kampala, then bring him back. That journey alone, every time I'm taking this trip to Kampala to Lira, it reminds me, sometimes I hear him speaking to me, especially when I'm driving alone. So I have those memories of him. I won't want to say much at the time, and I know there are a couple of friends of mine that are traveling back, but I want to thank all of you. I mean, for you, this one, and there are so many functions around. So I'm very grateful for those who have traveled all the way from Kampala. I don't know how to thank you, but I would say thank you very much for making the time, and for all the family members that are here, and also the neighbors that have come to spend time with us here. I'm very, very grateful.
Our main celebrant for this afternoon, Father Lawrence and Ogwan, ladies and gentlemen in your various capacities, good afternoon. My name is Emmanuel Okello, and I'm coming to share with you a little bit about Muzee's life, and also to introduce the members of the family who are around. I'm grateful to God. You know, when I came, I didn't know that the celebrant was going to be my friend. Father Lawrence is my friend. He chairs the board of governors of the secondary school, and I'm highly privileged to be his vice. So when we met here, I had to hug him. The late Mzee Terence Geoffrey Carl Okello was born 90 years ago on this date. Was born in 1935 in Oyam County and Oyam District. And that's where the ancestral home is. And that's where I came from this morning. I live in Kamdi. Those who came from Kampala, you pass in front of my house. They left this life on earth on 13th January 2017. If I'm discussing his life on behalf of the family, it's because he was my maternal uncle and born of his sister. So Mzee, when he became of school-going age, he went to a small school in Oyam there, near Kamdini, called Amwa Primary School. After 4 years, Mzee joined St. Francis Xavier Junior School, which is in Ngeta, to the north of Lira City. And after the junior school, Mzee proceeded to Namilyango College. In Namilyango College, he found that the Mill Hill fathers who founded the school had introduced boxing as a sport in the school. And he excelled in that thing, in boxing. The testimony came sometime in early 60s when Mzee went to Kamdini, and where they were socializing, a fight erupted. There used to be a man in Kamdini with extraordinary strength. So he used to beat people around. And when he caused the fight, Mzee went to restrain him, and he thought Mzee was fodder for him. And because Mzee was a left-handed boxer, he made history by beating that man. And that record has never been broken. So after Namilyango College, Mzee came and started work in the then Lango District Administration. There was only one district for Lango. Today we have a pie, tutuke, call it, blah, blah, blah. But that was now district administration. As an accounts clerk, he particularly worked under Lira Town Council. Then in 1967, the late Mzee joined the Uganda Army. He went for training, did his first training in Bamananika. Later on, he was identified for a more specialized course in the former Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, USSR, and he stayed there for 1 year. When he came back, he was deployed to work in the General Service Unit. That was the intelligence outfit of the time, the equivalent of, I think, ISO of today. He worked there until the coup of 1971, and he fell back home. When he fell back home, he was arrested, but he survived the arrest, and later on worked from 1973 up to the time Amin's government was overthrown. They worked with an olive farm in Kampala. Later on, from 1980, he went back to the army. He was commissioned a captain in the army and deployed to Lira. Here he worked as an adjutant. After several other courses abroad, Mzee was deployed to the headquarters. He worked in Republic House as Director of Finance under the Uganda National Liberation Army. He would work there until the changeover of government of 1986. Once again, he was arrested, thrown in Luzira, but survived. Then he came back to Lira and retired from the army. Mzee was the last born in a family of over 10 children from 2 wives. His father was polygamous. But from his mom, he was the last born. And so, as the father was telling us during the service, God gave Mzee one talent of his single life, but he added more lives by marrying and siring children. Mzee lived with 5 official wives, whom I recall very well. Of the 5, 3 are surviving, but only 2 are here. I'm going to introduce them at the right time. And out of those wives, he begot over 20 children. And as we speak today, his grandchildren are over 100. Perhaps we shall see some of them here. But Mzee later on wedded only one of the women he stayed with. Mzee later suffered from prostate enlargement, and that's what took his life when he died in 2017. We in the family remember Mzee for a couple of attributes. He was a jolly man and outgoing. he used to crack jokes with people, but when provoked beyond measure, he could deploy his boxing tactics and become aggressive. During his life, Mzee practiced hunting as a sport. He had 2 guns officially licensed, a shotgun and a rifle. So he would go and practice hunting. Mzee was an accomplished dancer. In the 60s in Lira here, people feared him on the dance floor. That's a legacy left in Lira here. Mzee had good vision. That is why he sent children to school. I'll give you my example. In 1970, I was admitted to Senior 1 in Lubiri SS. Now I was supposed to go and live with an aunt, Mzee's sister, who was living in Megokisei. The jukeboxes were blaring music. Auntie was selling waragi. She was living in 2 rooms, and I could only sleep after making my bed in the sitting room after all the customers had gone. So one day, she took me to visit Mzee, who was residing in Entebbe, and she was very happy that I had joined Senior 1. But Mzee was not amused. He said, "Where is he going to stay?" "With me, no problem with me." He said, "What? I know where you stay. It is not conducive for a student." So, ladies and gentlemen, perhaps most of you may not have seen me if I continued to stay with Auntie, because most likely I was going to get spoiled. So, they sent me, and I repeated P7. I was residing on this compound. After that, I was able to join Lamo College, and I became what I am today. I thank him so much. Mzee was a very smart person. He was a very, very smart person. Those who knew Mzee and those who still remember him know that if the man went to the bathroom, he would come out after 30 minutes. So you can see the sort of person that man was. Lastly, Mzee was very, very adventurous. He was daring. He always wanted to be the best. If you told him that you were excelling in this, Mzee would challenge you and try to beat you to it. That was Mzee. I will now take the pleasure to introduce the family members who are here right now. As I said, these are some of the children Mzee sired. Some of them are living abroad, others are in Kampala, have not made it.
My God. And now the language issue. Your passion. There's a general complaint that English is too much. You should try the local language. What do you say, Kampala guys?
Local language.
Thank you so much. But first and foremost, to respect church, there is a very beautiful song that I need the choir to play, just to celebrate the soul of the old man, my namesake, Mr. Okello. Hey, choir up there. Oh my God. It is in the local language. It is in the local language. But also, I want to thank the Catholics here and their Protestants. I want to try some for the other side, and we'll see if we can do it. What do you want to job? Anamaro Yesu, Anamaro Yesu Nino Duchu, Anamedia Meda Me Maroen, Nino Duchu, Mia Bedo Keda Waka. Ting Yesu,
Binge malo,
Ting Yesu,
binge malo,
Ting Malo when lobo wore. Yesu kobo, kawa
binge malo,
Oh, you want my take? Father Lawrence, very privileged to share such a gathering with you. Ladies and gentlemen, Father Lawrence is a colleague in profession as well. He's a station manager of one of the biggest radio stations called Radio 1. Catholic background, and today, two radios meet to share this very special moment. I want to thank you so much. I also want to thank the choir, and most especially the Lira friends, the ones that I am speaking and representing. In the same spirit, Kampala people stood, also you stand. To be sure that the Lira friends are here. I don't want to be alone. We don't want to look small, yet Kampala people can make it. At least we have balanced Kampala a bit. Memories, I have a lot of it. But first, it's a big privilege for me. Because 8 years ago, when we lost Mzee, I actually didn't bury him. Around that time, I had a flight. It was somewhere in Gabon. And you know what it means when something is planned. So today, it feels very good that I can come and say something about Mzee. Two memories that I have of him. Number one, 30 years ago, I grew up in a neighborhood around there, which is about 20, 30 meters away from this one. So that means we had two homes, and somebody would come and eat Moti's food. Amoti. Well, I don't know, ma'am. Thank you so much for your beautiful food. The beans, the posho, the rice, although Patrick will take big share, but it is okay. There used to be mango trees all over this compound. I don't know what happened on the time. And then oranges. And that old man protected those things so much that we would come try stealing them. But sometimes we would get unlucky and we would receive some canes. But that was part of growing up. And then when I got a job, about 205 going into 10, in one of the radios in town, at least I remember the old man would walk by the station to maybe just take 1-2 minutes rest before he can continue down here. But something that bothered me, that even when the radio broadcasts all the news that he could hear, Mzee would still want me to break down the stories. And yet I was also not a newsman. I was the other side of the news. But I love the fact that he could depend on me on information. The other memory about Mzee is growing down our country, Kampala people. We've just known fireworks of recent. But Mzee will be remembered for introducing fireworks on 31st in form of bullets on 31st. Because he had a rifle. I don't know why Patrick has not said this in his speech. But that rifle, every 31st, before we cross into another year, we would come in the neighborhood. But at least we were the few neighbors who would not run. But most neighbors would run thinking, Konyi. And come to strike. So that for me would give me beautiful memories. And then for me and Patrick, it's just too many things. I remember number one, I don't know whether you remember, you sold me a watch at 300 shillings. 300 shillings. This watch was a convoy, for those who know convoy. It used to play very beautiful tones. And I was too broke. The most I paid was 200 and I could not pay the 100. So the time Patrick had come to recover and I didn't have that 100, the only person who saved me was Z. I said, please let go, it is for your friend. So for that I remember him and miss him so much. The second very interesting memory is, like the MC said, a planned kid. Man, Kampala people can shower us in the village. This boy comes with a ball. I don't know whether to call it Adidas, whatever name. And you know the balls would play down here. The rule of the game was very simple. You don't kick the owner of the ball if you want to continue. So this owner of the ball is the only one who has the boots to play. For us, we use legs like that. And so you protect him so much so that even if someone hits the owner of the ball, we all have to descend and give some lessons to that guy. So it has been so beautiful, but I'm also proud to tell you that at least I'm the only guy that Patrick calls, especially when he's on this road coming up country. That's when he'll tell me I'm on my way. And then we would enjoy the moments together. And recently also extended to me a very beautiful invitation that when in Kampala, never ever pay your money to any hotel room because I have a big home and you have a room. And I want to use this meeting to thank you, my brother. Just make sure you take care of my room, and I'm coming on the 1st to start enjoying it. I was also enjoying a moment with friends in Kampala when they said they have renamed your community or your village from Sasa to New Sasa. New Sasa. Very beautiful. Just because of time, I would have said so much, but I want to appreciate everyone in your capacities. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for loving this family. The only assurance we can give you, Kampala people, even if you have Patrick there, we are here to take care of Mama and the rest of it. Thank you so much. I will help translate a little bit. Thank you for coming. Thank you for comforting me. I'm very thankful. Happy to see you. Neighbor, thank you very much. And Lilian is over there as well. As the neighbors.
And TV. I'm so happy to see you. And on Margaret, I'm Okello.
It is Margaret Okello.
I'm a Munyoro by tribe. I have 40 years.
She's been here now 40 years.
I tell you, Patrick, Rose, Jen, and Irene to London. Joram, my last one is Moses Ibom Okello.
She made mention of the names of her children. There are some living abroad, and some are here with their grandchildren. We will go, Reverend.
Come.
Reverend, please come.
Come. Ikarma Mose and my husband, Ikarma told me
when her husband was critically ill.
But you were waiting, Toli.
She went to Catholic Church.
Pabelo, Atoli. Tua, Church of Uganda.
Her family is a
so no doubt one had woman called Legutoli. I take on it, say, we got him more. Well, we take what, take ye at a
she accepted to wait in the Catholic Church.
I more I take what bought on my patron. I take on my patron. And I will waiting, Tony. And ye kind Roman walker, it's a terror. Patrick one or wrong or really quick.
She asked Patrick to escort her so she can wait in the Catholic Church, even when she was Anglican, and Patrick accepted, saying God is only one.
Amen. And Alego Church of Uganda, Reverend Anayene.
This is a reverend. She goes to Church of Uganda.
Irene Olap this morning on Biu Bora, take over me, and Pabiu, Boro. Bishop Tiago to my wife. You to be reverends.
They are both reverends. The husband is a reverend, the wife is a reverend.
My wife, Abiu Kakara. And
he's committed elsewhere, but he said his wife. She's a very good preacher. Reverend and a reverend. Looks like they're giving birth to apostles.
And then Copa Mamma Wanda or Tiekan and one Tiekan and pay Dun Comwa, Papua, and then the Qua pay ye comedy. The man may want to put about attack from Pere. Chunkan and Meko Bocajama Roma, York can echo out the door to the coping. Nia no chini or where I Kakan and Tika Chekaman and Menute, a Cabra Roma, your papa, one more and Arabero Jimmy, where I chat a attack and my two child, my passion, where I tell a child, no tell a child, a man a chat. Cano Canamere, a very Rachel, a man chat you did make a nisha, a canisha, my Anglican. A yell, a poor Medina, warning, a Rachel, one. I mean, I'm in a poor and reverend, a man or two, Carachel Canon, my dog, Carachel Kidwa, Umea, Copabana. Dokenda nya berni uberdang award me passion nyo chip itu kan kanchen ke passion ibae bot ngata me wa life history me passion. In summary, ye kom joa me hotel ni wa kan ni bisha mo lo kan ngata me life history ngata me lo ka ka wore ma Patrick kanchen ke joa me passion kom lo ka jono lo ni bishu But where wa te dok wa ye kom gimame reverend oponi wa Carachel Kerekam ame tichum ye kopi kom nying abar ponyo ber ponya per taka kardushu ai ni kere nying abar no ni twelve ber kere jami dushu dai don mo jami dushu itwada no kwa abar piman achala ko ni dok in summary ame ni ra kwayo kirma passion mama ko Kwa me papa ge unuti Carachel Kere. Pe ojalu no ka Bob Patrick ke kan ke na o tesi mo Patrick kalwana umego kan ni kono. Kalwana umego kan ni kono. Jone wanda numero kopo uno kwa ame musee unuti Carachel Kere. Musee obero ngata mengeo kanisha pite kopi anata kwa eno kino pacheni. Nyira Carachel Kere obedishu ni obedu no me kuno meo uno kanisha. Pera umego uno kanisha ke kan Pero beduni kanisa kikan entro beda me kunwo ilego dan piani ilego nubel gino me aper tak ingeyo banga nubel gino me aper tak lorko ni me ye kukwoni kelebero aber kenyinga aber achala papa wu otimo anyang ni museo pero ngatamero meo kanisa obera kanisa owene gani kanisa achala wangwa Carachel Kere do dujuti kom Patrick Dimalu jotia ko Patrick, tamalu jotia me yo Patrick, neno lu jotia me no Patrick, beda me kuno iticho bonga muze oti udushu. Bebe kere karakter a Patrick, no karakter muze keken eto mi chopgi na muze ochodan. Oti ma mata wa me du kam ye ma me abiruni inying menyom apa nyom. Ka Patrick toti mo man no ndo mo wai di kalkane me du nyom. Achieve the wedding, no bear, I'm a petware. O dog will like one appear with a quava or children like man. Patrick, Mono teacher, man, well, Borin, no, man, declare. I'm a Raminero, a poor Yobana, tech, no year. Mapo, you are, cricket, why you take walker, Carachel Kere. Man look tinny, one look tea, Mahamel, bore. Mepo yo bera musée, ono mepo yo kira musée. Eno mi o mwa Carachel Kere mwa wan yego lai go yibe na chelu mepo yo musée. Mono bera no kere kikwa eno ko kere no kam ene no. Rana te pedini jinko no itamani megilan bimu era manono onyo be. Odo wor paru man eka otekati uni jiti pien nyinga be karolonyo man puonj tin wando karachiel kede eneno achalo da tik mekanisha mero ni yena mero ngecha meko boni kado samono la beratie ginora mondo ni nyinga be kama kata kama betwere wa gik meko boni akwa pachoni kuna chwalo apology amabero me witong waru bero bet kanene en bero ngatame eno mia report meko boni itike de jamna pola meti nyime omiyo piko ni yeka chala bela man en pede to bero kan en ni kukome donc kaka en ana chwalo apology mere achalo ngata tiu kala chen kere en office mere metelo atagare wani ando achwalo apology no kwat awitong iten kopi omiyo en petro bero kala chen kere wakan en to eno koboni yitin mia moro en binu numo chawa kala chen kere kare eka ite binu paso kan ogang unang korkwat achala abera man yakino wakan jo amai waro chung kala chen kere kini anyo apopera kama witong moro katie mara ke ena bilo kala chen kere wa no motwa wino akawa moro katie ena binu motwa lo kala chen kere wa